It is pure chaos. I'm standing here by Bill. Bill, would you mind telling me where you were headed off to?
I'm just returning from Guatemala.
Guatemala? And what were you doing there?
Oh, I was on a mission trip. We went to the beach.
The beach for a mission trip?
Yeah, I know. The beach doesn't seem like the location of a mission trip, right? A construction site or food pantry seems a bit more like it. We went to the beach with some new friends we met in Matitlan, Guatemala City, and Antigua. Many of the kids had never been outside of their communities before, or even ridden in a car. So you can imagine how shocking it was to go all the way to the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
The purpose behind it was to form relationships with young people in Guatemala through youth retreat and to show them another part of the world outside of their community. God broadened their focus so that they could set goals to enable them to rise above their circumstances. Efforts like this are producing a radical change in the lives of those in the Amatitlán community. It was exciting to see how God can make a broken community whole.
Well, thank you for your time. Hey, you, can I ask you a couple of questions?
Sure.
Where are you headed?
I'm headed home. Just got back from the gorgeous mountains in Guatemala.
Awesome. So were you there on vacation?
No, actually I was on a mission trip. I was with young kids experiencing the beauty of God's creation in the natural world and in them too. In the society in which they live, kids are often overlooked, devalued, even cast off. We try to show them how much God values them. God helped us teach them who they are in His eyes.
Cool. So why were you in the mountains?
Oh, the mountains were a teaching tool. Just one of the many object lessons from our retreats. We learned that when storms come, we don't have to be afraid or panic. And if we do, it often causes us to take missteps. We also learned that our lives will also be rocky or steep, but that doesn't mean we can't keep climbing and reaching. We learned it was great to have another person to climb with, someone to give us extra support. And we also learned that as we overcome each challenge, the view gets better and better.
That's amazing. Let's talk more after the interview. Sounds like you learned a lot from these object lessons. And here is a returning traveler. Madame, mind telling me where you've been?
Guatemala mission trip. It was awesome! People invited me into their homes just to visit. Before you even ask how that possibly could be a mission trip, let me tell you. We truly got to know people, their needs, their hurts, their struggles, but their joys, their passions, and their gifts. We got to pray with them in their homes. I'll never forget, we had a dance party one night. It was just a regular Sunday night. The church was literally shaking and rocking because the music was pounding so hard. I thought, in the middle of a community that's hurting from poverty and abuse and disease and so much brokenness, how could they possibly have this little church house that has shouts of joy and laughter erupting from it? It was a place that people trusted, a place that people could come in the midst of their brokenness and be made whole. Receiving medical care, food, shelter, tutoring, Bible classes, you name it. They knew it was a beautiful place to be, a place they could receive the Spirit.
Wow, that literally sounds like how I would imagine heaven to be like. Thanks for sharing. And who is this who's with you?
Oh hey, I'm Jack. Yeah, I was traveling with Olivia, so obviously we're in the same place for the same reason. We love learning about God together. Part of our mission was to help the kids we were meeting to search for God's purpose in their lives and become all that He created them to be. Our small groups were awesome, and I feel like we discovered more about God's purpose for us. We know who we are, and more importantly, we know whose we are. One of our last activities on youth retreat was a photo booth. We dressed up in silly costumes with our friends, but the backgrounds for those photos were words that God uses to describe us. His children, holy, blameless, chosen, loved, masterpieces, wise, restored, new creations, and made complete. Not many of them have pictures of themselves. I love knowing that they have one now, and it says exactly who they are and will always be. That's something I'll never forget.
Well, I guess I understand now. why people are flocking to these locations, sounds to me like God is using young people to connect the world to Him and to each other. Back to you.